Hello lads, lovelies, everyone in between. Welcome back to JameJame's VR. I gotta tell you, I've missed you guys a whole ton. You betcha. I'm busy with work and all the usual shit. It actually hasn't been that long since my last video. It's just felt really long to me. So I'm really glad to be back and hanging out with you guys. So yeah, just thought I'd say hi. I'm going to talk about a couple things, mostly some weird Pimax shit. I'm going to briefly talk on some other stuff. You get the idea. Just the usual prattle from JameJame. Anyway, just a reminder, in case you guys forgot, this is a wholesome channel. So we don't say, bad words like fuck and shit and piss and splooge, and definitely not something beyond the pale like cunt pickle. Because in case you guys forgot, this is JameJame's mother fucking VR. Booyah! Ah, see ya. Alright, so now the intro's out of the way, let's just get right into it. So mainly I've got Pimax stuff to talk about, but like I said. So, I got some notes here. I gotta show you guys this. Now listen, you guys, if you've watched my channel for even a little while, you know I love my Pimax headsets. I'm a bit of a Pimax fangirl. It's true. I love the Pimax headsets. Warts and all. And warts are there. They're on every headset, to be fair. You know, like even the Quest 2, its IPD settings are really bad. And frankly, it hurts my face to use it for very long because, I don't know, I feel like it's built for a narrower head. I've got a bloody melon, you know. Great if you have a Pimax, though. But I gotta show you guys this. It's just too funny. It's just such a Pimax thing to do. Here it is. What the fuck is this? What am I looking at? Let's immersing in Metaverse with any headset purchasing accessory kit enjoy. What could that? What is that? Why does it? Pimax, why are you like this? Why are you like this? Right? You guys make it really hard to. I don't even know. See, I'm actually literally at a loss for words at this shit. God, guys, is it so hard to find a proofreader? I've spoken to people in China, in like VR chat and so on, and their English was great. Okay? Some of them were like, if this guy just says, like, I'm from San Francisco, I would have believed him. And they still have this shit. I really wish they would just take a suite of just translators and just fix all their stuff up. It just looks bad. And especially if they're really trying to break into Western markets with the reality series, they need to stop doing this shit. Even though it is funny, and the memes write themselves with this, and they already are showing up on like our Pimax on Reddit. Oh god, here, I have some notes here so I don't forget what I'm bloody talking about. I did get to take a look at the new Pimax software coming out. It's not major changes from PyTool. I mean, there is a major change, I'll get into in just a second, but first off, it's all the same sort of options in PyTool are still there. You know, it's tidied up, it's graphically a little bit nicer. It's got a dark color scheme now. Very cool, very rad. I like that. A lot of the same weird mistranslations like open and close for on and off are still present. I guess those are just there to stay forever. They just refuse to fix it. So whatever. Okay, it's not the worst thing. And the Pimax store. Now this is a bit interesting. So I was worried, or at least wondering, how they were going to actually do this. So it seems like they're doing it pretty sanely, actually. So I'm happy to see that. So mainly what they're selling here is Steam keys of games that they know will be working well with the Pimax headsets. So there won't be compatibility issues. Things like parallel projection should not be necessary, although I did see Microsoft Flight Simulator there, which requires a lot of tweaking to get working just right on a Pimax. That shouldn't have been there, guys. If I buy a game from the Pimax store, it should work perfectly on my Pimax. But I'm looking at an alpha, private beta sort of thing. There's, it's not ready to go yet. So it's unfair to bring up some points. Just so they know, though, Pimax, if you're watching, if I buy a game from your store, it better work perfectly. Okay? No weirdness. And then the games will advertise in the little corner, rather it's like where the originating purchase is happening from. So for the moment, you'll see either Steam or Pimax. So I guess my question is, if it's a Pimax purchase, well, do I still get a Steam key, or is it just PyTool handles it? And in cases where there's a standalone version, is there going to be like a Crossbuy feature? Because that would actually be very cool. Because Crossbuy is a pretty good deal, and it's a big deal too if you have a standalone compatible headset like the Reality series will be. So if I can buy a game and use it in standalone and PC VR modes, that's pretty sweet. And that's a nice thing that the Quest 2 has going on for it. So if you don't mind hooking up to your PC, or or maybe down the road you upgrade your PC, you can experience games in a better fashion. But you can still play them standalone. I think that's a very cool feature. I hope that is what they're going for with this. If they're smart, that's what they're going for. Pimax, if you're smart, that's what you're going for, okay? Okay, guys? Don't fuck this up. It looks nice. It's definitely still alpha, but it won't be foreign to people who already own a Pimax headset. And if you're new to Pimax, you should be able to figure this out pretty quickly. Hopefully a lot of the default settings that come with the headset, like the color settings and so on and so forth, they've said will be better on the Reality series, but they weren't bad on the 8KX or the 5K series as long as you set your own color profile. So hopefully a lot of the defaults going forward just make more sense for the hardware. Because it is a bit annoying. I mean, you only have to set the color profile the first time. Like, you configure the game how you want and then that's it, right? But it's annoying to have to do that. It'd be nice if those sort of things weren't an issue going forward. So hopefully they're paying attention to that. Or even potentially, if the developers had access, this is a really smart idea, by the way, if the developers had access to recommended settings for in terms of color and so forth. So the developers could actually change how things were meant to look. So dark games, a dark default settings may be too dark. They could make tweaks to make things look how they want them to look and have that pre-configured. That would make a lot of sense. And I believe in terms of standalone, they can do some of this stuff. We'll see. It's very interesting. And I hope that they do open this up like this. That would make a lot of sense and really help to deliver a very good product, which Pimax really has to do because they're competing with some very wealthy competitors. Now that especially too that Pico is involved. Or, as we really know their true name, ByteDance. Or TikTok, as we know them here in the West. So you have a choice between Facebook and TikTok. I say hard pass, but well, you know what? I own a Quest 2, so I couldn't say that hard a pass, could I? I don't use it that much, though. I mean, it hurts my face, though. So, different face shapes, right? That's just the way it is. Also, speaking of Pimax, I guess something that's pretty neat is now's a really good time to buy a Pimax. I know it sounds like I'm shilling for them, but it is, okay? There's sales just about every weekend. Right? And if I'm shilling, I'm not making any money from it, am I? Right? Am I? Like, you want to see my affiliate page? It's zeros. Right? My channel's not big enough. And even if you were to get those sales, that wouldn't matter to me. That wouldn't count toward a purchase I would have because it would just link. You'd find out from like Reddit or something where those sales are often posted. So no, I'm not making any money from any of this stuff with Pimax. It's just that they're my brand of choice. Okay? And if yours is different, of course, that's fine. Because the Quest 2 probably doesn't hurt your face. And the Pimax might hurt your face. I mean, that's just how the headsets are these days, right? But anyway, they do have some pretty great sales on very frequently. I think it's just about every weekend. And they're significant. So if you're looking to upgrade from something and have enough money to justify upgrading to the 12K QLEDs when it comes out, that's still a lot of money, okay? But nonetheless, if you do have that kind of wallet power, That's definitely something I think's going to be pretty appealing. Yeah, so just throwing that out there. Speaking of Facebook, whoever they are, I guess, huh? Meta. Yeah. Anyway, we have a bit more information on Project Cambria, and it's really, I mean, okay, that's not being fair, is it? It's not. We want to be fair here. I do say no bullshit, so okay, no bullshit. But it is going to be focused very much on business use, not gaming. They're not saying your games won't run. Obviously, that would be silly, but they are really going to be focusing on business usage, okay? This isn't tailored for gaming. It isn't meant to replace the Quest 2, not the Cambria, right? That's their business thing, and it's going to be different series. That's not to say it might not be. It's got like eye tracking and some face tracking and so forth, so in a lot of cases it will be better, right? Especially because eye tracking potentially can do a lot depending on what Quest does with it. But I would control your hype levels for Cambria very sharply, because this isn't the product you're meant to buy if you're a gamer. That's going to be a Quest 3 or a Quest 3 Pro or something coming out relatively shortly after that, I believe, if I'm getting this correct. So I don't follow a whole lot of the leaks from Meta. Come on, who really wants to crawl into bed with Meta, in my opinion, right? Like, I get it. They're the affordable headset. I got one. When new users come to me and say, what should I get? I invariably point them to the Quest 2. So don't get me wrong, okay? Just do not get me wrong. I am just saying, though, that, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I just don't like Meta. I don't want Meta to take over. You know what I mean? I want healthy competition. And then if the competition is from ByteDance, I'm less than enthused. You know, it's a heck of a lot better than nothing. I'm just saying, you know, like they're going to compete, prices will come down, and it'll drive out smaller competitors in a big way, I suspect. We'll see. I mean, Valve will be fine because Valve just prints money. Is there like really? Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess actually speaking a little bit about Valve, there's a ton of stuff going on with them and Steam VR, and there's some interesting stuff possibly related to like foveated rendering advancements that are more advanced than what we're presently having, where it just kind of there's a low resolution render on the edges. There might be more advanced forms of that happening. We don't really know yet. But the best thing for anything regarded to Valve is, of course, sadly, it's Bradley. You should definitely be following what he has to say if you're really interested in what's going to happen with the Deckard. And it's Valve, and Steam VR is going to continue to work as it has, so compatible hardware will be taking advantage of those features. So that's exciting to see. I guess another quick thing about Pimax is that a lot of the questions was about them and OpenXR. They're at least aware of it. That people want OpenXR, and they've been sort of asking the community questions in that vein. So the idea that the reality series will not support OpenXR, I don't think has a lot of evidence. It just might be that not immediately. But Imax is well aware of OpenXR and does seem to be aware of the demand for it. And frankly, I think they just need to. So they might have sort of failed to anticipate that demand being there, but it definitely is. And I think they're getting that clue now. So that's good. That's good. Just a little bit of gaming news. Just a little bit. You know, I'm not really a gaming news channel. Although if something really interesting does happen, I do like to mention it. You know, some games I'm personally excited about for whatever reason. Yeah, we all have our different tastes. For example, After the Fall had an update today that actually made it so Pimax owners no longer need parallel projection. That's a huge deal for us. So that's really nice to be able to actually play that game at full res now. Very cool. So yeah, no more parallel projection, and they fixed a lot of other tweaks and balances, made the LMG not bad. Because who gets a light machine gun and then it sucks? Right? Fine. Do we need a heavy machine gun? Then I need a 1910 Maxim. Is that what I needed? No. An LMG should be enough, and apparently they understood that. So yeah. Definitely a game I need to play more of. I need to gather some friends out for that. Yeah, that's a very fun game. Rack is coming out very soon. I think, well, it's the first week of March. I think it's the 5th. I think it's March 5th. So that's pretty exciting. I actually was kind of a bit pissy that I wasn't able to enjoy that game because it was PlayStation exclusive. Really? Anyway, apparently no. it's coming out for PC soon, and they have redone the controls, and it makes it work for our hardware and stuff like that. That's going to be pretty cool. I'm actually quite excited to play Fract. And I will be picking that up. And it might, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say if I'll just play it, or if there'll be an Adventures with JameJame with it. I don't know yet. We'll see, right? I mean, who knows? I might hate it, but I don't think I will. I'm especially excited for the cover system. The way you kind of like grab a piece of terrain and like hold to lean over on it. That struck me as very cool. And yeah, that's exciting. I want to check that out. So Punji VR is seeing a lot of active development recently. New weapons, new maps, tunnels, lots of Vietnam stuff. Pretty cool. So if you're sore about missing out on Vietnam, then this is definitely a game you're going to want to follow. Nobody's actually sore about missing out on that. But I like the aesthetics of that war. Anyway, just some babble. Just to get in touch with you guys. And say, yep, I will see you in Vengeful Rites Part 3 very soon. Love ya.